Dear students, welcome to the course Data Communication. I am Kalyani Pawar, lecturer in Department of Information Technology at Vidyalankar Polytechnic, Mumbai. Today we will learn topics from unit number 1, that is Introduction to Data Communication. In this unit, the course outcome is to identify process of data communication. The unit outcome is to explain the role of the given component with the process of data communication. The topics which will be covered in today's session are: what is data communication, its components, its characteristics, protocols, elements of protocol, protocol standards, standard organization, forums, and regulatory agencies. So on today's lecture, the key takeaway will be: you will be able to define data communication, understand its functions, its characteristics, protocol, standard organization, forums, and regulatory agencies. The learning objective of unit number 1 is to make you understand the basic concepts of data communication. This is a concept map. In this, we will be first studying is data. What is data communication? Then we will be studying the components of data communication. Then we will define protocol, elements of protocol, standards, its standard organizations, forums, regulatory agencies, etc. So let us first begin with our definition. What is data communication? Data communication is a process of exchanging data or information. It is also defined as exchange of information between two digital devices via some form of transmission medium. Next is the components of data communication. The communication system has following five components, namely message, sender, receiver, medium, and protocol. The functions of each component in data communication are as follows. Message. Message is the information in the form of data to be communicated. It can consist of text, numbers, pictures, sound, video, or any combination of this. Sender. Sender is a device that sends the message. It can be a computer, workstation, telephone handset, video camera, and so on. Receiver. Receiver is a device that receives the message. It can be a computer, workstation, telephone handset, television, and so on. Medium. Medium is a physical path by which a message travels from sender to receiver. It can consist of twisted pair wire, coaxial cable, fiber optic cable, laser, or radio waves. Protocol. Protocol refers to the set of rules that coordinates the exchange of information. Without protocol, the sender and receiver cannot communicate with each other. Figure shows the components of data communication. Next, we'll see the definition of protocol. Protocol is defined as set of rules that governs the communication between computers on a network. Both sender and receiver should follow the same protocol to communicate with each other. Protocol defines three basic elements: first, syntax; second, semantics; and third, timing. Let us see the meaning of this in detail. First is syntax. Syntax means what is to be communicated. It defines the structure or format of data. Semantics means how it is to be communicated. It defines interpretation of data that is being sent. Timing. Timing means when it is to be communicated. It refers to an agreement between the sender and the receiver about data transmission rates and duration. Next is the characteristics of data communication. There are four characteristics, namely delivery, accuracy, timeliness, and jitter. Delivery means the data must be delivered in correct order with correct destination. Accuracy, the data must be delivered accurately. Timeliness, the data must be delivered in a proper timely manner to the destination. Jitter. Jitter means it is like an uneven delay or noise in the packet arrival time that causes uneven quality. Next, we'll see protocol standards. Standards are necessary in a day-to-day life. Standards are needed to ensure interconnectivity and interoperability between various networking hardware and software components. In data communication, standards are essential in creating and maintaining an open and competitive market for equipment manufacturers, and also in guaranteeing national and international interoperability of data and telecommunication technology and processes. Standards provide guidelines to the manufacturers, vendors, government agencies, and other service providers to ensure the kind of interconnectivity necessary in today's marketplace and in international communication. Data communication standards fall into two categories, namely de facto, meaning by fact or by convention, and de jure, meaning by law or by regulation. Let us see the standards in detail. De facto. This category includes standards that have been not approved formally by some authority but have been accepted as standards because of their widespread use. Example, Unix operating system has largely been used in computer science department of most universities and thus has been adopted as a standard. De facto standards are further divided into two types, proprietary standards and non-proprietary standards. What does proprietary standards mean? Proprietary standards are invented and owned by an organization who first uses them and which gain popularity. Proprietary standards is closed because they close off communication with devices system of other vendors. Non-proprietary standards, these are those that are developed by an organization or committee or group which become popular and vendors start supporting them. Non-proprietary standards are open because anybody adhering to this automatically gains access to all them following those standards. Next, non-proprietary standards are open to anyone and they can use them. They have a access to all the non-proprietary standards. Anyone can have access to them. Second is de jure standards. These are formally declared as legal standards by recognized standardization authorities. These are the standards that have been legislated by an official body. These de jure standards are usually led by government or government appointed agencies. So, we studied standards and its type. Next, we will be studying the list of standard organizations. Standard organizations is classified into three categories, namely standard creation committees, forums, and regulatory agencies. Let us first see the list of standard organizations. There are total five organizations, namely American National Standard Institute (ANSI), Electronic Industries Association (EIA), International Telecommunication Union Telecommunication Standards Sector (ITUT), Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers (IEEE), International Standards Organization (ISO). Now let us see the function of these standards one by one in detail. First is ISO. The ISO is active in developing cooperation in the fields of scientific, technological and economic activity. Second is ITUT. This committee works mainly in the fields of research and development of telecommunication, generally for phone and data systems. Next is NSI. It is a private non-profit organization which is affiliated to US federal government. It mainly works for the welfare of US citizens over there. Next, IEEE. It is the largest professional engineering society in the world, international in scope. It mainly works in the fields of electrical engineers and electronics and radio as well as in the related branches of engineering. Next is EIA. Similar to NSI, it is a non-profit organization which works for the promotion of electronic manufacturing concern. It includes public awareness education and lobbying efforts in addition to its standard development. Next we will be studying is forums. Similar to standard organizations, we have forums. Forums are small user groups or industry representative in university students and experts which they come together and set up small forums to address various issues and concerns of data communication technology and come up with the standards from time to time. Examples are like Internet Engineering Task Force, IETF, Internet Society, ISOC, and ATM Forum. Next, we will see is regulatory agencies. These are government appointed agencies. Example, Federal Communication Commission (FCC) of the US are always involved in regulating standards. The main purpose of these agencies is to help to protect the interest of general public in areas such as radio, TV and wired communication. FCC reviews the rate change by service providers, technical specifications of communication hardware and software, and divides and allocates radio frequencies. So, we have seen in today's session, we started with data communication. So, this is a small summary of the points which we have seen in today's session. First, we started is the data communication. So, what is data communication? Data communication is a process of exchanging data or information. Then we had seen the components of data communication. There are five main components of data communication: message, sender, receiver, medium, and protocol. Then we had seen the definition of protocol. Protocol is a set of rules that governs communication between computers on a network. Standards. Standards are divided into two types, that is de facto and de jure. In de facto, we had seen proprietary standards and non-proprietary standards. Okay, and after this, we had also seen some organization names like IEEE, NSI, ISO, and so on. So this is the summary for today's lecture. In the next lecture, we will be studying some basic definitions related to data communication. Thank you.